Hey guys, since I started driving Uber Eats, I've had a lot of questions about the pros and cons of it, is it worth doing? So I just started my shift and I decided while I drive around, I'll tell you guys all about my experiences. So here we go. I ran into a little bit of a rush, but I'm just gonna jump right back into my video. So one of the first pros is that honestly it's a relatively easy job. There's not like a lot of stress to it. You just walk into the restaurant, you pick up the food, and then you drop it off, and that's pretty much all there is to it. When I started, I wasn't really sure what I was getting myself into, but it's super easy, super quick, anybody could do it. The thing that really won me over for this job is that you have complete control over when you drive, when you stop driving, if you want to stop in the middle and take a break, and that's something that not every job offers, not a lot of jobs offer. So as a student, that's really nice for me. If I have like a weekend that I don't have a lot of homework and I just get it done and I'm sitting around, I can definitely go out and drive and deliver and make some money. So you don't have to look any certain way. You don't even have to wear an Uber Eats shirt. You just wear whatever you want and then go to work. So it's really nice. You can just be headed back from the store and decide that you want to do some orders. So it's really convenient for letting you wear whatever you want. One really nice thing that they do for us is they have bonuses, and they come really frequently here in Tucson, Arizona. I'm not sure about everywhere else, but since it's a little bit of a less crowded big city, they give really good incentives to drivers. Like for instance, every single night they'll give you a $5 bonus per trip that you do, just to encourage you to drive at those times where they really need drivers. You also don't have a manager, you don't have coworkers. Everything that you do is interacting with the restaurants and then the customers that you're delivering to. So it's nice to just be able to kind of have control over what you're doing and not have to report to a manager. The only time that you really have to talk to Uber Eats is when you're applying and you give them your information, and then if you have to report a problem or if they need to update your information. A feature that I don't use a lot but a lot of people really like is that Uber Eats also offers instant pay, so right away you can get your money whenever you want it at the end of a shift. I think it costs like 50 cents for them to direct deposit it to you, but you can have it right away whenever you need it. I just kind of like to see it add up in my Uber Eats account and keep track of how well I'm doing for the week. When I moved to Tucson, I had no idea what I was doing driving around. I didn't know any of the streets. Even though I grew up an hour and a half away and I have a lot of family here, I was always like in the back seat not paying attention, and so driving around with Uber Eats has given me such a great chance to actually know my town and actually know where I'm living, and I can be in any area of the town and from driving around so much know, okay, this is where I'm trying to go. I know what street I'm on, I know what street comes before it, what street comes after it, so I've gotten a lot better at navigating. If you have friends who are interested in doing Uber Eats, once they hear about how well you're doing with it, they offer you an Uber Eats code that you can give to your friends, and it's like a referral link, and if your friend applies with that information, then you both get a bonus. I will put mine somewhere in this area, and if you guys are interested, I'll also put it in the comments. The biggest advantage for me is that whenever I want to clear my head, I like to go driving around and I like to listen to my music, and when I'm driving with Uber Eats, my driving actually has a purpose. I actually have a reason for what I'm doing and a place that I'm supposed to be going. I think one of the pros of driving Uber Eats, I would say, over having passengers is you can do whatever you want while you're driving. You can like take a break and study homework, you can blast music, you don't have to worry about if it's too loud for them or if they don't like the song that you're playing or whatever. Now on to the cons. First of all, I'm going to say that I believe the pros outweigh the cons. Obviously, if you're looking for a job, any job's gonna have their downsides, and so it just makes sense that Uber Eats has a few of them. The more you drive, the more likely you are to get into a car accident statistically, so you just have to be careful while you're driving around. And suck to get into a car accident while you're trying to make money, so just be aware of that. And then also you go through a lot of gas, you rack up miles on your car, but Again, with any pros and cons list, you just have to outweigh what you're looking for and determine if it's worth doing that to your car. You are an independent contractor when you work for Uber Eats, and what that means, basically in essence, like the most important part I can tell you is that you have to file your own taxes, and so you have to keep track of that. You have to pay them quarterly, or else you can pay a fine for not doing them quarterly. But one great thing that comes out of that is you have a lot of write-offs that you can do. Like, I can get my car washed, that's a write-off. I can get gas, that's a write-off. My wear and tear on my car is a write-off. My repairs on my car is a write-off. A lot of customers do not give you any additional information beyond the address that you're delivering to, which can be a really huge hassle if they live at an apartment complex and they don't tell you any information as to like the gate code or where you should go once you're in the complex. It really helps us out for the customers that do provide that information, but not everybody does. I think at a lot of restaurants, Uber Eats deliveries are not a priority to them since they don't have to deal with the customer themselves. And so some places you'll walk in and they aren't really in a hurry to get your order together, or they'll be busy and so they'll be taking care of their stuff. When you're making money, you're gonna wanna look at how much you're making hourly, and sometimes if you're driving like on a Monday night, you have a lot of waiting around that you're gonna do, and then it takes down how much money you're going to be making hourly. You have a satisfaction rating on the Uber Eats app, and every once in a while a customer thumbs you down or a restaurant thumbs you down, and I wish that Uber required you to explain why you gave a thumbs down on the orders that you do, because I am such a people pleaser. I want to do the best that I can. I go out of my way to make sure that everybody has a really good experience, and so whenever I get a thumbs down, I'm just kind of left wondering why, and not everybody explains themselves. So it would be nice to know why I'm getting a thumbs down when I do. I think that's something that Uber Eats could definitely work on and improve. There's not really a nice way to say this, but Uber Eats navigation sucks. It just totally sucks. It's really difficult to use, and they do give you the option to third party to Waze. Using it from the Uber app and then transferring over to Waze is really like clunky, and it just takes a really long time. I wish that they would just improve their navigation system. I don't know why their navigation system works the way that it does. I've never had problems like this before on anything else, and if they could either improve it or make it easier to use Waze as a third-party app, it would be really nice. It'd make my life so much easier. A downside that a lot of people complain about is Uber does not especially encourage customers to tip you. It's probably like 1 in 10 customers who actually tip you. It's just not something that they emphasize, but you kind of learn along the way to not expect those and take them as a bonus. And I don't know, whenever I get a tip, I'm really appreciative of it, but when you're looking at Uber Eats compared to like DoorDash or anything like that, that might be something that's really important to you to make those tips, and you won't make them with Uber Eats. So yeah, that was my pros and cons, and I guess just to wrap it up, I want to offer you guys some tips. While you're driving around, like I mentioned, you're gonna have waits, and I feel like it's really important to just find a place where you feel comfortable stopping. I always park in my parking garage on University, and that's just some place where I've parked for a year and I've never had any issues. I always feel really safe here, but especially if you're a girl and you're driving around at night, like don't stop in some sketchy parking lot and wait for the orders to come in. Even if it's really centrally located, it's not worth the risk of doing that to yourself. And I don't want to say that I learned it the hard way, but I was waiting at this McDonald's in the parking lot, and that was just a really hot spot for me because there are a lot of businesses that were often busy in that area. So I was waiting there, and then a homeless man tapped on my window and he asked if I had any money. So I really quickly handed him a few dollar bills out of my wallet. But don't let things like that happen to you. I was lucky that it was not an extreme situation, but after that I realized, I should be a little bit more careful with what I'm doing. I also really like doing little things, like I'll put the drinks in my cup holders and I'll turn on the AC because I know that I would really like to have a cold drink when I get there. And then I do the same thing with my food. I put it into an ice chest and I make sure that it stays warm for them because, like I said, I think about the customer as myself. I would want to have warm food. Go out of the way to do little things that you'd appreciate. Write notes on their bags with Sharpies, just understand that you are in a customer service position and do the best that you can to make the customers happy. Enjoy driving Uber Eats. I will put my referral code down in the comments so that if you guys are interested, we can both get a bonus out of that. And I hope this video helped if you guys are considering driving Uber. See you in the next video.